Hey, welcome again to another session of the HPP Innovation Week. My name is Roberto Peregrina. I'm the USA Director for Hiperbaric, and I would like to introduce to Andy Brewer, who is joining me today to talk about the world's first keg for HPP Beverages. I would like to introduce Andy first off, and I would like to say that he has worked in the kegging industry since 1979 and continues to act as a consultant to major breweries in the USA. He also lectures on kegging technology for the Masters Brewer Association of the Americas and Niagara Brewing College, and he currently is the technical director for Americas at Petainer. Welcome, Andy, and we'll kick it off. We're talking about the world's first keg for HPP Beverages. This is a partnership that Hiperbaric and Petainer did and have been working for a couple of years. Now it's ready to be launched in the market. So first of all, I would like to talk about Hiperbaric. Hiperbaric designs, manufactures, and commercializes high-pressure processing equipment since 1999. We are the global leader of high-pressure processing with a 60% market share and 300 plus machines installed worldwide. Over 20 years of experience, highly focused on HPP, and with an average revenue on 15 million euros. We have a growing team of 120 plus employees all over the world, and we have just about 22 R&D projects with over 20 million euros invested. What's the HPP technology? If you have been following the another sessions, you probably know, but I would like to say this again. High pressure processing is a non-thermal food preservation technology that uses water high pressure to inactivate food-borne pathogens and spoilage microorganisms. This technology, it's I've said high pressure, and so I would like to talk about the pressure in context. At sea level, we only have 1 bar of pressure. If we go to the deepest point on the oceans, which is the Mariana Trench, where we'll get over 1,000 bar or 14,700 psi. We applied 6 times the pressure that you will find on the Mariana Trench, which is 87,000 psi or 6,000 bar, which adds into our chamber 50% extra water. Now I would like to talk about the HPP for juices and beverage and an overall view of the industry itself. And first off, what are the global applications worldwide? Well, I can tell you that fruits and vegetables are leading. Juices and beverages are 24%, fruits and veggies 21%. All these two combined are just 45% of the market, followed by meat, which is another important sector, then toll services. And then we're talking about the minor categories, which is seafood, research and development, ready-to-eat meals, dairy, pet food, and other applications. For Hiperbaric, the beverage industry has grown since 2017, which represented 35% of the global application demand and for high pressure processing products. Right now, it's just close to 50%. In 2019 was 50%. Now it's just about 52% in 2021. It says that there's about 540 million liters of HPP juices and beverages produced in 2019. And the benefits of HPP juices, it's basically that you can get a shelf life extension, you can get a fresh like quality juices, you can also add a layer of food safety, also obtaining natural and additive-free products or clean label. And also you can get pathogen inactivation and access new markets. Obviously, this gives you a competitive advantage. Therefore, you can get an edge and compete with new and novelty products. The traditional packaging for HPP juices is basically bottles, pouches, dough pouches, and anything that is flexible can be put through HPP. But these are considered the most common examples of HPP products. So we have bottles, pouches of PET, HDPE, or LDPE, or PE or PET. It could be film seal, it could be a film seal or cap, or it could be capped by induction foil. The products need to have a characteristic of being flexible and water resistant so they can be put through our machines. I would like to show you some of the examples of what's in the market in terms of juices. We have vegetable and fruit juices. We also have smoothies. We also have plant-based milk like almond milk and essentially all nut milks. We also have cold brew tea and also cold brew coffee, which is our new categories that are just appearing in the market. Also, we have fruit-based waters, coconut water, watermelon water, kombuchas, and that type of functional foods. We also have vegetable soups like the gazpacho, as other brands also remarkable there. We also have functional and energy drinks. And also another category that is growing is the probiotic and fermented beverages like kombucha, for example. Now, I would like to show you a video that pretty much outlines how the Petainers go into a unit and how this technology works.
Hi, I'm Roberto Peregrina. I'm the USA Director for Hiperbaric. We are the global leader manufacturer of high pressure processing equipment, or HPP. HPP is a non-thermal technology that fully meets consumers' clean label demand. Fresher products with no preservatives. In addition to clean label, HPP also offers food safety, premium quality, and extended shelf life. This is all made possible using three basic elements: water, pressure, and time. The process begins by juice being cold pressed and then filled into sterile Petainer kegs that has been purged out of oxygen. The kegs then are loaded into baskets and then introduced into the vessel. The vessel is filled with low pressure water and then closed on both ends by plugs and wedges. High pressure pump then starts pumping on the machine and reaching up to 87,000 psi, which is about 6 times the pressure found at the bottom of the deepest ocean. Once the pressure is reached, it is held for a few minutes. During this holding time, pathogens are being destroyed. And since heat is not applied, then the nutritional profile of the fresh product is not changed. After the whole time, the vessel is depressurized and the baskets exit on the other end, which can be then unloaded. The Petainer Keg is the world's first keg for HPP beverages. The solution of using Petainer and Hiperbaric technology achieves the best of the output efficiencies of juicing production, the best of the nutrients that juice can give, and further adds significantly to the shelf life. Cheers to science and health.
Okay, so why Petainer and high pressure technology made sense to explore into this category? Because we can also obtain, by using Petainer kegs, we can also use the advantages of food safety, because we can also inactivate pathogens such as Listeria, Salmonella, and E. coli. We can also prevent recontamination, because once the juice is inside the keg, there's no way that can be recontaminated. We can also do the same as creating clean label products. We can also do shelf life extension, also preserve nutrients, and also reduce the food waste. The Petainer kegs are highly sustainable because it includes a recyclable keg. The PET that is used on the Petainer kegs is recyclable. And the chimes that you can see, the bottom and the top of the Petainer kegs are recyclable. Are made out of 100% recyclable PP. And also Petainer kegs helps reducing down on the amount of single-use plastic and reducing some of the operational and logistical cost. 250 milliliters of bottle uses 50 grams of plastic. So 20 liters will be 1.2 kilos of PET. Compared to a Petainer keg, 20 liters of juice will only use 400 grams of PET. So it makes sense. The solution of using Petainer and Hiperbaric technology basically achieves unlimited possibilities on the craft beverage arena, high efficiencies in both operationally and logistically, and all the benefits of Hiperbaric high-pressure technology. The market opportunities are very simple. It can also be, these kegs can also be used in retail, can be used in juice bars, juice on the tap, or in hotels, restaurants, and catering. We also like to talk about what we do at Hiperbaric. We not only sell machines, we support the food industry in different locations. We have our headquarters in Spain. We have an office here in Miami, Florida, where we have our process authority and also some help and technical assistance to all our customers. We also have an office in Mexico. We have an office in Singapore, and we have a support office in Oceania. We offer, as part of developing the technology in the market, we offer testing. It's a free of charge. We have 2 pilot plants, one here in Miami and another one in our headquarters. We also do packaging recommendations and advice, and we do a lot of testing for our customers, not only with the customers, but also with suppliers. We also help with formulations. We advise them what to put or what to take out. We also give advice on regulations, how to interpret the laws to make the products very successful in the market. We also help with validation studies, and we help right through from conception to implementation. And we have also food authorities in-house that can help with any regulatory aspects that you may have. Thank you very much for your time. I would now like to introduce Andy again and welcome him. Thank you, Andy, for being here with us, and it's all yours.
Thank you, Roberto, and thank you for inviting us and partnering with us on these projects. I want to talk about Petainer as a company, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about the keg. Petainer's been around for over 35 years, and we believe we are a global presence in the packaging industry and innovator. As well as making kegs, we make bottles and jars and water coolers, all out of PET, and some of our bottles are reusable PET bottles and are used many, many times, of course, also with the water cooler bottles. So we actually are worldwide. We have manufacturing plants in the Czech Republic, Sweden, and in Russia. And by the manufacturing plants I'm talking about there, we would have our preforms manufactured and our valves, etc. From there, to reduce costs and also carbon footprint, we actually manufacture our kegs as locally as possible to our customers. And we have blow molding sites where we would blow mold the preform into the keg and add the valve, etc. All over the world. We have in Modesto in California and in Brazil, Russia, Melbourne, Australia, Toronto, Canada, and Beijing. And we're expanding that blow molding facilities around the world as our customer base increases. So that's basically a little bit about Petainer. So let's talk about the keg. We have a number of keg sizes. We can go anything from 10-litre kegs all the way up to 30. We're currently using 20s with testing and with companies for high pressure pasteurization, though all our kegs will go through that. Our kegs are fitted with standard beer fittings. Fittings or valves, as we often will call them, these are what allow us to put the product in and take the product out of the keg. These are standard fittings that are used throughout the industry, throughout the world. That way we can use standard equipment. We don't have to buy specialist equipment to be able to fill or dispense the kegs. The kegs themselves, the walls of the keg are made out of PET. But this is not basic PET where CO2 can migrate out of the product and O2 into the product. The PET that we use has additives to it to stop this occurring. These are barriers technology that we put in there. And we can get a very good shelf life out of the product, at least 9 months after filling. And the taste quality that we get out of the product is being tested by a number of independent companies and also universities, and we can show that our taste and quality is equal to metal kegs. It also has an advantage that the walls of the keg have a O2 scavenger built into them, so that if there is a little bit of O2 or oxygen left into the product, it will be scavenged out over a period of time. So actually the product from that point of view, can get better over a period of time. We use a conventional keg design, exactly the same as a beer keg that you would see. By that, I mean that using a standard beer fitting, the product can be pushed out, shown here as CO2. This would be what you would use for a carbonated product, but you can use nitrogen or argon, any inert gas, which then pushes the product down and out of the spear tube and down towards where the dispense is. This does allow all the product to be dispensed out of the keg. And because it's the same as a steel keg, we're talking about technology that's been around for way over 50 years, and it's clean and it's cleanable too. Our kegs actually come in two sorts of formats. One you can see on the top left-hand side picture. That is the chimes, the top black top and bottom on the keg. Now these chimes allow the keg to be stackable. That means that you can actually stack them as much as 3 high, just on top of one another. The chimes also allow for easy carry of the keg. And also, we also provide it as what we call a naked or classic keg that can be put into a box. You'll notice that both kegs are brown. This is to stop UV getting into the keg as well. So you've got good barriers and good UV protection with both of them. The beauty of the keg, of course, it requires no washing or sterilization. It comes to you sterile. It also comes full of nitrogen to evacuate all the O2 out of the keg, and basically it's ready to fill. So with no washing or sterilizing, the amount of utilities, water, chemicals, heat, steam, energy is greatly reduced from a lot of other packages that you would have to clean and before you could package it. All the components are fully recyclable. The chimes, as you can see on the bottom left-hand picture there, they actually come off and they can actually be reused. If you have a good control of your of the way that your product goes to the customer and maybe be able to pick those up, you could reuse those as well. But the product can be crushed, which reduces space in the recycling bins, and it is fully recyclable. The other beauty of the product is because it is already sterile when you get it, requires no washing, etc., it is ready to fill. So you can see on the bottom left-hand side, somebody manually filling the keg. It's basically the liquid is being pushed into the keg from a tank which is pressurized into the keg through a modified filling coupler, which wouldn't cost you more than $150. So a small company can get involved with this very cheaply. If you want to do more automation, there is in the middle panel there a machine that's designed for what we call one-way kegs, and these machines run anything from $13,000 to $25,000. On the right-hand side, you'll see the kegs being run on an existing keg line. So if your people have an existing keg line or your customer has one, you can actually run the keg on that. It requires a little bit of modification, and the modification is basically to the program to remove the washing and sterilizing steps, and the keg just basically steps through the machine, gets to the filling head, is filled and goes out. So this actually allows you to perhaps fill a keg on a single machine at over 80 kegs an hour. And even if you manually fill a keg, you can probably do at least 20 kegs an hour. So there's lots of advantages to the keg. It is lighter, of course, and it has all the barriers that you need to protect your product once it's been filled. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andy, for that. Now, I would like to welcome some questions from the audience. So in addition to juices, what other applications can be used? Andy?
Okay, so we've actually, we fill the kegs with a number of products, with beer, soda, dairy products, with juices, of course, wine, coffee, and kombucha. And we've actually used HPP on coffee and almond milk successfully in the past, and we've been testing it with other products such as beer.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Well, we touched a little bit on the sustainability of the kegs, you and I, but would you like to add a little bit more on that?
Sure. As I mentioned before, the kegs are fully recyclable. The chimes can be reused if necessary, which greatly reduces the amount of plastic that goes into the recycle bin. The fact that they are light reduces things like diesel in transportation, etc. And also the carbon footprint, of course, yeah, and the fact that they require no washing or sterilizing greatly reduces the carbon footprint. For instance, a steel keg, if washed, requires at least 11 litres of water, which is taken from ambient up to 160 degrees or 70 degrees Celsius.
Wow, okay. All right, the other question is, what shelf life extension for cold press juices are you able to achieve using Petainer and HPP? Well, essentially, any product that you see in a small bottle can be put through a Petainer Keg. This is no different from a bottle. This is just a big bottle. So we welcome anyone that wants to try this technology to come and visit us or inquire about it. I believe that any product that you'll see in a small bottle can be put through a Petainer Keg. All right, with this, I think we'll finalize this session. Thanks again, Andy, and thank you all the audience for being part of this Innovation Week, and thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.